Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Jeff with AutoHunter.com, and today we're going to be looking at this beastly Hellcat swapped 1999 Plymouth Prowler. But before we get into all the goodies and show you all the details and specs about this beautiful vehicle, first, a quick word from our sponsor.
Today's AutoHunter Cinema video is brought to you by Land Air Sea. Keep tabs on all your valuable assets from the palm of your hand. Remember, with Land Air Sea, theft is temporary. Visit landairSea.com or call 847-462-8100 to order your Land Air Sea GPS unit for your classic vehicle.
Okay, so now I'm standing here in front of a 1999 Plymouth Prowler, but this is not just any Prowler. This has been Hellcat swapped. If you can tell from this big supercharger sticking out of the top, this is in fact the 707 horsepower Hellcat motor. Of course, this is a 6.2 liter supercharged engine, which would have been borrowed from a Hellcat power plant, let's say. What would be sitting here normally is a 3.5 liter V6 that would have come from the Prowler originally, which is at the time a little bit of a disappointment for the hot rod crazy aesthetics that come from the exterior of this car. But now in its place is no substitute Hellcat motor with that 707 horsepower, which is a huge ton more than the original 200, about 240 horsepower power plant that would have come in the car from the factory. One of the even crazier things, for perspective, this car only weighs about 2,800 pounds in the stock configuration. So this motor may have added a few bit of extra pounds, but I can assure you that horsepower more than fairly makes up for everything that's been done. Now let's talk about what's been done to fit this in here. If you take a look at the hood there, you'll notice there is now a cutout, as this engine sits considerably taller than your standard 3.5 liter V6 from Chrysler, and making this a pretty interesting addition. So you can know that this is not so sleepery because of the way that it sticks out. One of the things I really want to talk to you about is the overall styling of the Plymouth Prowler. So as we take a look at the exterior, this looks like a hot rod, but let's think about this for a little bit. There really isn't a Mopar or Chrysler product hot rod that looks quite like this. And that's because at the time, Chrysler actually stole some of the heritage to create what you see here. This looks much more like a 32 Ford, which is a fantastic way to make yourself a really interesting retrofuturism style vehicle here that we see behind us. So this is really cool. And of course it has some other front bumper bits and stuff that can normally be up front, including some bumper bits that we'll get to as we come around to the rear. This vehicle also features a custom drive shaft, which has been fitted to make sure that that Hellcat engine can drive the power to those rear wheels, which is a pretty interesting feature indeed. And of course, this Plymouth Prowler metallic purple looks absolutely gorgeous, and we have a little nice nod here to the little Hellcat logo on the side, just reminding us that this is not your stock Plymouth Prowler. And let's go ahead and let's take a look at the specific interior to this car, which is a convertible roadster. Go ahead and take a look in there. You'll see we have the Prowler Cat badges on a couple different places, including the steering wheel. This car has an automatic transmission. That's the only way it was equipped, so you didn't really have a choice. That's a TH400 transmission. And of course we have some bucket seats in there, some added tacks and miscellaneous things that are also added to help with that new Hellcat engine power plant that's now sitting in the vehicle. Go ahead and close that back up. We come around to the rear here, which is very hot roddy. One of the important things I should point out is some of the other design aspects besides the 32 Ford that came when it comes to looking at this was also the fact that Chip Foose had actually helped design this general style of car during a Chrysler design program. So this is a really cool touch of Chip Foose design, 32 Ford, all integrated into this Plymouth Prowler, which is very cool indeed. And then just here on the bumpers, we have Plymouth Prowler. And I think the rear end of this car, the fact that these cars could actually come with trailers, makes it just that much cooler. This is such a beautiful car, and to have that Hellcat swap with 2,800 pound car, this is a lot to handle. So thank goodness for these massive Nitto tires on the rear to help put all that power down with the stock Prowler wheels, which looks fantastic. So what a cool hot rod. Now, if you're interested in purchasing a collector vehicle for yourself, be sure to check out AutoHunter.com, which is our online auction and has vehicles going live every weekday. So there's tons of stuff for you to look at and purchase there. If you liked the video, could throw us a like, we'd really appreciate it, and get subscribed as we post videos with beautiful vehicles like the one behind me here all the time. So make sure you get subscribed. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.